Hit that little recording button.
Did do.
There it is in the corner. All right, so welcome to the United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council Recreation and Parks Committee. This meeting will be recorded so everyone could see and hear what wonderful things we have to say. We're also going to take minutes and take notes, so we will have a written history of this meeting. So let's start with some introductions, since Lala, you are the only person none of us know. So we'd love to have you introduce yourself if you feel comfortable doing so.
Of course. So my name is Laronica Lala Sutherland. I go by Lala because when I first started in the city, I taught ages 2 until about 15. And so I just thought it would be easier for the kids to be able to say Lala instead of saying Miss Laronica. I've been working for the city for about 6.5 years. Out of the 6.5 years, I've been full-time for 3. I was a rec instructor here at South Seas House around the time of 2017, I believe. And then from there, I ended up working full-time. I ended up going to Montecito Heights for a minute, being their gender equity coordinator. And then of course the pandemic happened, and well, is happening currently. And they've moved us all around the city. I was doing a shelter for a minute at 109th. Then I did an alternative learning center at Queen Anne. And then Sharon, who I know you all have been dealing a lot with, she asked me, she said, "Hey, are you familiar with the South Seas?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she was like, "We need someone there to, you know, kind of be the eyes and nose the center a little bit." I said, "Well, okay, I could do that for you." So now I'm here.
Super duper. So you're familiar with the neighborhood because you worked here a few years ago.
Yes.
Beautiful. Hopefully you get to stay here even after the pandemic, if you're so inclined.
That would be nice.
I'll introduce myself. My name is Dorit. I am the co-chair of this committee, and I'm also a board member. I've only lived in the community for about 1.5 years. My former community was Silver Lake, where I was very active in the Bellevue Park PAB, the community group that worked at, that helped the park get the lights and everything else it needed. So I look forward to working with you to help things in our own parks get better. Greg, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Greg Jackson. I am I've been voluntold that I'm the co-chair of this committee. So here I am. I'm also the treasurer for UNNC, and I've served as the secretary. I am a retired middle school, high school principal. I was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. I work for the city. Oh, here's a tidbit. I work for the city of Albany, Georgia as the training specialist, which was a lot of fun. We did a lot of big projects at the Civic Center. That was a lot of fun. I worked for an environmental management group in Florida for a while. And oh, my two latest projects is I do stocks early in the morning, and then my latest project after that is just obtained my real estate license, and so I'm working on buying and selling property and houses and stuff like that. So that's my latest project.
Super duper.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, and since I can't go to the gym, I bought some weights and put them on my back porch so I can work out, because I deeply miss the gym. So that's my therapy. Okay. All right. Anyway, so cheers. And I have this cup not because I'm a fan, just because it's a convenient cup.
Laura, would you like to? Oh, sorry.
I'm done.
Laura?
Well, I'm going to observe it doesn't sound so much that Greg is retired, because it sounds like the days are completely, not just full, but more full than they were before. Lala, I don't know if we had met before, because I've, for years have chaired the Planning and Zoning Committee for UNNC, and we meet or met until hopefully meet again at South Sea's house twice a month. So I don't know if you were ever an evening presence when somebody had to be present when we were meeting there. But anyway, if we haven't met, now we have. And I am one of the people, it was a huge community effort, but I'm certainly one of the people who raised the initial funds and did the major advocacy to save the South Sea's house back in the early 90s. And somewhere in a closet upstairs in the bedroom toward the west, no, in the closet in the north bedroom, the west closet and north bedroom, you'll see a whole history of the saving of the South Sea's house. If you've never seen that before, there's a bunch of photos and everything. So I was one of the people involved with that in a very major sort of way, and became the person who coordinated the original first garden that we did there, and while we were waiting to save the house. So it's, cool. Anyway, that is me. I attend most of these committee meetings as the Zoom host, but I'm going to, for the moment, like I often do, turn my video and sound off because I need to go consult with my work person to see what else we're doing this evening. I'm not going far, but I'm going out for a sec.
And she's also the president of United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council.
Yes,
She forgot to say that.
I did. I don't like to yell it too loudly while I'm at work.
Oh. We get it.
I'll be right back.
All right, so tonight we may not have a whole lot of people in attendance. Last meeting we had quite a few because there was a lot of issues regarding the park. Introductions we've done. I'm looking at the agenda right now. I don't know how to share it, so I'm just gonna read it.
Just share it.
Is shared?
I think I can. Yeah, I can share it.
Okay, Greg, who's far smarter than I with this technology stuff, is going to share the agenda. Yay. Greg, could you pull up the minutes, please? Would that be a bother?
Is that right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have that open too somewhere.
So we're going to review the minutes.
February
Lala?
or January? Which one?
So let's start with January, sir. Lala, regrettably, you weren't at the meeting, so you can't approve the minutes. So if you don't mind, just, I know this is all boring stuff for you, so I apologize.
I do not want to take a tour of this. Okay, good. Okay, so you want me to start reading them?
Oh, no, you read them to yourself. I'll read them to myself. I've got them open on my screen and my own stuff. So let's just review them and then we'll come back and vote on them, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to approve them because I wrote them.
Okay, so of course.
So as soon as you're done, let me know. Oh, Laura, great, you're back. So you could approve.
I'm back, and I did upload them online, right?
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone
Okay,
wants.
I'm ready
you
to
guys-
approve them.
Laura, are you ready to approve them? Do you want to be part of the approval?
Oh, no, because you know what? I wasn't really, today I'm here, but I was not there last time. I was just kind of, I was fake there at those
Okay,
two
so
meetings.
you want to sit out approving them?
I want to abstain because I think it's inappropriate to approve.
Okay,
The only thing
So-
I would say on this, Doree, is that as I see it here, I don't see a date at the top. Like these are the January minutes, I believe.
did I forget to put a date?
I don't
Mila.
see it.
You're right. Okay, I'll add a
I don't see
date.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so if we add a date, are you cool with approving them, Greg?
Yes.
Me too. So 2,
Yes.
no, and 1 abstain.
Okay, so I'm gonna close
Good.
that one.
Cool. If you want to review Feb,
Okay.
please
Yes.
have our
of course.
manners.
Okay.
Okay, and this one I was present at because I see my name.
Cool. Do you mind reading them and see what you also think,
Right.
Laura?
I am looking.
You're a doll. I also forgot to put.
Well, it's Isadore. Isadore.
Oh, I'm letting
You
someone
spelled it.
in. And then my name,
Mhm.
really, my name
It's
is,
Jackson, not,
no,
sorry.
really, my name is Johnson, but I go by Jackson. So technically you're right, but practically it's wrong. So Jackson.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't notice that on the last set either, but
well, I remember one time I made you Greg, gave you Laura's last name.
oh yeah, I remember that.
Laura, could you spell Isadora House for me again, please?
Yeah, it's ISAD as in dog, OR like Robert, E.
Thank you. But when I'm doing notes, it's to be expected to have bad spelling.
And the LAPD came for after and the LAPD. Can we put have a safety plan or wait a minute? Let me read this sentence. Yeah, so this has here should be right here. LAPD has a safety plan.
All right, I'm not seeing what you're doing. So if
Can
you
you
tell
see?
me,
Okay, so LAPD,
yes.
right, has a safety plan.
No, actually, Greg, I think what this says is there's just a missing comma. Due to the proactive actions of the neighbors, Rec and Parks Department, Park Rangers, and the LAPD, comma, a safety plan has been developed. I think that's fine. It's just then there should be a period after the word park instead of a colon.
And then also for Sharon's last name, instead of a CH, it's a SH.
Nishihara.
Nishihara.
All right.
Yeah, I would say it has developed a safety plan for the
Okay.
South Sea. Yeah.
Yeah, just as long as there's a comma after LAPD, everything else after that is cool.
Has developed a safety plan for the South Seas and still hospital. Yeah, okay. Alrighty.
Alrighty, could we vote on?
With the modifications noted, I suggest I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second. Cool. And then everyone who's eligible to vote on this, raise a hand.
Is my video back on? I can't see me anymore.
Yeah, you're cool.
Okay,
we're all doing jazz hands. Beautiful.
Right, done.
Thank you. Sorry we have to do all the unfun stuff at the beginning of the meeting. Okay, highlights and guidance from City Rec and Parks leadership. Well, today that will be, there is a Galaxy phone coming on, but let's do highlights from Rec and Parks leadership. Lala, that will be you today because you are the leader over at that park. Especially our last meeting, there was a big concern, our last few meetings, big concern about the crime in the neighborhood and the squatters in the beautiful house next door to you. So if you can give us updates on those things, we'd be very, very appreciative.
Yes, so I know when I started here, I think it was the beginning of February, they had did the LAPD and Rangers and our maintenance had came out. They cleaned up everything on the insides. They are currently also trying to get a new alarm system in there as well. We did have a little bit of a concern because there was a new lock that was put onto the Isidore house. We had locksmiths come out, they checked, they went on the inside, everything was still clear and still clean. And they issued a new lock on there. They also made sure that all of the windows were still boarded. They do think that there is a possibility, even though we all don't know how someone is getting into the house, that there might be someone that might still be getting into the house. We're just trying to figure out where and how. I know also there was a concern that had came up to Sharon about getting someone here at the house at least once a week, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. That we still have to wait to get approval for. I know that anytime we have these meetings, I will be the one that will be in attendance. So I know the latest that I could be here is whenever these meetings are over, until we get clearance or see if we have funding to get someone else that could be here for a later shift. Also, there was a talk about cameras. I haven't got any word on that just of yet, but once I do, I will make sure that I do give you all an update on that. I had the pleasure of meeting Albert Lord. He stopped by one day to talk to me definitely about a lot of the graffiti that's happening in the park as well. I've been putting in job orders for that, just trying to make sure that we keep the park clean and make sure that everybody feels safe. So those are all the updates that I have thus far.
Great.
Yes, Laura.
Well, I have a question. Is Albert working for Council District 10? That's one question. Or is he just stopping by as a neighbor because he lives a block away?
He was just stopping by as a neighbor.
Right. Well, no, that's cool. So my understanding is that there is some activity related to the cameras, and that in fact, I think a funding request is being brought to UNNC. I don't know if Greg's gotten it yet to help with that, but no. So do you know anything about that, Lola? Or
I had a couple emails about a camera, nothing about funding. So I will have to definitely check in with Sharon. I know she's been trying to be really good at looping me in on everything.
Right.
So I'll check in with her and see what's going on.
Okay, well, so here's just the thing, because you're saying that you have limited nighttime hours, but if there is a funding request being brought forth, it would be for next Tuesday, March 16, not tomorrow night. So I'll check. I'll have Donna Jones, and because I think it's Cordell Hinton and Carlos on our board, but who live in the Avenues, who are working on this, both the technology and the money. And
okay.
But I think Recreation and Parks would want to be present for that discussion.
Okay, and you said that's the.
That would be, if it happens in a timely manner, it would be Tuesday, March 16th.
So a week from tomorrow.
That's the West Avenues.
No, be at UNNC's executive committee.
Got it. Okay.
The West Adams Avenues or the parks itself, I'm not sure, asking us for money.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Lolo, do you know much about how neighborhood councils work?
Not that much. I'm still kind of young on the in the city, so I'm learning as I go.
Well, there's about 100 neighborhood councils citywide, community. We're each in the neighborhoods, and the city gives us a certain amount of money to run, the neighborhood council, and we use some of that funds for community-based projects. So what's going to happen is some community members from the Avenues are applying for a grant to be able to purchase the cameras. Okay. So that's what Laura is talking about. And
right.
The meeting is on a week from tomorrow, and it's a Zoom meeting, of course, but I highly recommend you go because
I definitely be there.
Right, and cool. I think technically it would end, assuming they get their act together to even create this funding request, I think technically it would end up being Recreation and Parks asking for it because it's an easier way to fund it. Because
Okay.
the Avenues is not a 501c3. But anyway, that's a Greg issue, not a Recreation and Parks issue. But I've seen some back and forth emails. So I just don't know if they're going to have it together fast enough to do it next week. So that's,
Okay.
but just mark your calendar for now and we'll let you know, because I'm on that same email thread that you are.
Okay.
I hadn't met you before, but you and I are on the same thread because I saw the photos of the graffiti on the bathroom. You were on that one too, right? So yeah,
Yes.
we're on the same round robin email. So
Okay, cool.
I'll confirm with you if nobody else did. Okay.
Thank you.
Lala, I'm sorry. Is there any other Rec and Park? I'm yelling, I'm sorry. Is there any other Rec and Park updates? Not just our parks here, or the park you're at, but other parks within, say, UNNC boundaries, or other things that Rec and Parks is doing or saying that would be of interest to this committee?
No, not at the time. I know we're all waiting to see like what's the next step as far as like our opening up phase. So once I get some more information about that, I'll let you know.
Super duper. Just general housekeeping. Hi, Galaxy A10E. Welcome to the meeting. Do you mind if I ask your name so I could put it on our attendance sheet, or do you want to introduce yourself? All right, at any time you want to introduce yourself, just chime in. Thank you. Greg, do you have any questions for Lala?
Well, my concern is for her safety being in the building by herself in the, I know it's like evening, but that concerns me about her and anyone else being in that building at night. Yeah, that's it. And I guess I will check with a few people on their budget, their funding requests. I know they're meeting, the Avenues is meeting tomorrow, so maybe not tomorrow, but Wednesday. So maybe they will mention that in their meeting on Wednesday.
Oh, right.
That's it.
Okay. Lola, I do have another question for you. In the distant past, when the South Seas House was open, when we would have our agendas to post on the posting board, we would just email them to the employee, the person who worked in the house, and she or he would walk out and stick it on the thing. I had noticed that it's also covered with graffiti and felt a little dangerous. But is the board re-cleaned up and re-locked? Because
Yes, you're talking about the board that's in front of the house, correct?
yeah, the UNNC, this neighborhood council purchased that, and its purpose in part was your notices and in part was our meeting notices.
Yes, so it has been cleaned up. I recently today I just went out there to post the new notes and stuff that I had received from you all, and also put a little bit of like our COVID followings, regulations and rules that they send us anytime they send us like an update. So it has, and it's accessible. I did want to, I'll probably see if I can possibly get some new plexiglass or something, because from the graffiti, they took off as much as they could, but it has that little bit of like a fog over it.
Right. And I've been having trouble posting, and given the laxness of the COVID rules, I've kind of stopped doing it because I was afraid of covering up the graffiti. I mean, in other words, sometimes the gangs who put the graffiti in place don't want it covered up, and I couldn't open it to put it on the inside. So anyway, we can talk offline, because really we need to be back to having our meeting notices posted properly,
Okay.
or as properly as they can be, but not such that anyone, risks angering the gangs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So, but we'll
understand.
talk offline. I will email you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Lala, can I ask a question?
Yes.
The park next door, I don't know if you're also in charge of that park. I've
Yes.
noticed that some of the equipment, you know, the exercise equipment that you walk around and you do the, you know, the exercise stuff is a little cracked and just worn out, not broken to the point where you can't use it, but in need of a little love and attention. Is there any chance that that could happen, that it could get fixed?
I can ask Sharon to see what the steps be for me to take to put that in. As of right now, it's mostly, you know, me making sure that the park is up to standard and up to code. So I'll definitely make note of that and see what I can do to get it fixed or looked at.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
I'm really sorry I don't know your name, our visitor on the Galaxy phone. Would you like to ask Lala a question, our new parks coordinator? I guess not. All righty, so Lala, thank you so much for all of that information.
And Donna Jones has just arrived.
All righty. We'll let Miss Donna ask a question. Because our only thing else left on our agenda is pretty much park safety, but none of the park rangers, and granted, I only emailed them today because, you know, I'm a bad committee co-leader. So I only emailed them today, so it's understandable they're not here at the moment. Donna, welcome to the meeting. Have you had a chance to meet, howdy. Have you had a chance to meet Lala, who's now over at the South Seas House?
No, I have not
Alright.
been there. I know she's there from 10 to 4. Hi, Lala.
Hello.
But I think you were there before. We might have met then.
Yes, I was here around the time that Marie Tropez was the director.
Oh, yeah, then we met. Because unfortunately, I've been doing the same job forever. Not you, but me. Nice to meet you.
So we're just basically asking, Ms. Donna, we're basically asking Lala questions today, and she's giving us some really great answers. Do you have any questions about the parks and what's going on that you'd like to ask her?
Well, I've been working on some aspects of what's going on at the park as far as security. So I can share that later, but you guys go ahead and deal, you know, ask questions. I don't pretty much, I just have information.
Well, that's really great because park safety is the next thing on our agenda. What great timing you have, Donna. So would you like to, you have the floor.
Let me come right back. I have turned down what's behind me.
I understand. Actually, Lala, how can I get to the park rangers to ask them to come to meetings like this? I mean, emails get bounced back to me, so I don't know if I'm doing it right. Could you give me some advice on how to do that?
I can see the person that we usually contact his name is Patrick. I can email you his city email.
You'd be a doll, thank you. I'm the person who sent out the email. My name is Dorit, so it's dorit.dalaguerrero@unnc.org. That's a lot of words, I know. But if you just look at the top of the email that you got for this agenda, you'll see that I'm the person who sent it out. So if you could send me that contact, that'd be great.
Okay.
Cool. All right. welcome back, Donna.
Hi. What we've done is done a consultation with a vendor regarding cameras, updating the cameras in the annex and the Isidore House and the South Seas House. So we've done that. It'll be brought to UNNC executive meeting, which is next Tuesday. And we're going to present the vendors information, what came of it. It looked like a really good ability to cover the inside of Isidore, lighting the outside with camera, and then to upgrade the cameras that are existing in Annex. So we did a walk around over there and looked at spots that were important. I was told by our senior lead and Sharon that they had noticed, somebody who works there at the park had noticed that someone was in there again. So they went over, checked it, saw where someone had gone in. They didn't find anyone, but they sealed it back and changed locks, if I'm correct, because someone had changed the lock on the outside and put their own on it. So this is, I just know the cameras are really, really important. And the overall eyes on the houses, it's got to continue because people think that it was so quiet so long that they can continue to do what they were doing. So our senior lead, Anna Mejia, also has the contact of the rangers who have oversight of the Benny Potter Park, as well as it is her area here. So you might want to reach out to her as well. Lala, our senior lead officer I'll make sure to invite you. I think she'll be at the next meeting on Wednesday night. You should meet her and I'll let her know to reach out to you so you can meet her. Sharon, I know, has met her. So it's important. She will play a big role in what's going on. And I'm so hopeful that in the next so many months, with everything moving the way it is, we'll get some more activity back at the South Seas and the Annex and regular parks. So it's important to get things done. I'll reach out to you, Lala, because I'm hopeful that we can get the flooring in the kitchen with Laura's help or whatever for Waha. There might be funding, if I'm correct, to get the flooring in the kitchen and I think the hallway replaced while the house is down now. And it would be great to get upgrades done. And that's basically where I am at this point. Any questions?
Thank you, Donna. You're always a wealth of information. I hope one day actually to meet you, since I've only met you like on these calls so far. Does anyone have any questions for Donna? Greg, you're muted. Oh, he might not be talking to us.
Ms. Donna, if as soon as your team could send the paperwork to me for the request, the better. I mean, you could wait.
Cordell and
Cordell's my man. All right.
We'll be taking care of that. Since I'm not UNNC,
Gotcha.
I'm just a person who calls and deals and gets things moving.
You're the queen making things happen. We got it.
And so gotcha. Cordell and Ethan
Okay,
We'll get the paperwork
sweet.
ready
Alright.
and out to you. I suspect they're gonna be done with it in the next few days.
Outstanding.
Talked to Cordell about it today.
Okay, outstanding. Thank you so much.
Um, Donna, this is Dorit. I got a question. Since you are the woman who knows everything,
No,
you
I,
are.
no,
Who
and
finds-
that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
With the uptick in the violence that's going on around the park, I know, do we have a notion of, does LAPD understand what, it was not understand, have an idea of why this is happening? Are they addressing it, or is this stuff that you're not knowledgeable or not allowed to say?
I think when it gets too quiet anywhere, that's why I basically screamed and yelled and got Lala back in that house. I'm not willing to have an empty house at South Seas and an empty park with no one basically working besides just the people who come and cleaned and cleared the park, which they do a beautiful job, and the house. We need employees back. I think we'll have lots of things back, but we need to anticipate it and get prepared. So I basically was writing to whoever and wherever I had to let them know we needed active eyes on the prizes. I could not see people breaking and entering and living on the properties. And next thing you know, you got a fire. And
Mhm.
we've had a lot of problems with fires for empty spots around the mid-city area. So that's why I'm pushing for cameras right now. I
Mhm.
think we've had them before, but it's been a long time.
So
Laura,
the-
how many years? Do you know?
What, since the last fire, or how many years since we've had
Camera.
cameras?
Cameras installed there.
Well, I didn't realize until the issues we've been having lately that the cameras were not working. We installed them years ago we installed them when Norman Gilmore was secretary on the board. So that, I don't know, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
8.
Now the main park by the bathrooms, it works. The camera system. The park in the camera system in the annex is not functional. And that's what we're upgrading. That and getting cameras for the two houses.
Right.
But Donna, my question to you was, since you are you do speak to law enforcement about what's going on, has law enforcement talked to you or mentioned to you why they believe there's been the uptick in crime?
I don't think it's just at the park, if I'm correct.
No, it's all over the city, but there's
That's
different
right.
areas that things are happening differently. And I'm just wondering do they give you an idea of what they think is going on and why this is happening?
No.
Okay, thank you for an honest answer. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
All right.
Okay, I have a little comment.
Say it again, Laura.
I have a little comment, and I live every day in fear now for our any vacant properties, residential or otherwise, because we really are having a series of fires. We lost a duplex last Friday.
That is horrible.
So that makes 3 within our sort of area. Actually, the duplex was a block away from outside our thing, but the point is, the fire department has told the council office they are putting out so many more fires, not just from encampments, but people who are trying to keep warm. I mean, in other words, trying not to criminalize the effort to keep warm, but it's happening because people are trying to keep warm, and many or cooking because they want to eat. And I don't know what the solution is, but part of the solution is not to leave residential structures vacant. And so we need to figure out what to do with the Isidore house as soon as we can.
Let's see what else is on to. Thank you for the comment, Laura. Next step and ideas for next meeting. Want to start? Anybody want to out ideas for next meeting?
I,
Let Greg go first.
no, ladies first, ladies first. Ladies
Okay.
first.
Go ahead, Laura.
Well, Lizzie and I have learned that the city clerk is not listening to us as to where the ballot box should be for the election. So instead of the Washington Irving Library where there's a ballot box right now, I mean, I don't think this is going to change. We'll be at the Jefferson Library next to the park, but it's also starting now. It's 5 days where that ballot box is available. So we're going to be directing a lot of people toward the park. So what I wonder is, should we at
For the neighborhood council election?
Neighborhood council elections on May 25, so in other words, people are going to be directed to go by us to go drop off their ballots right there, starting Friday morning, the 21st of May, through 5 p.m. on the 25th of May. So I almost wonder if we should talk at the next meeting about planning something, because we're not allowed to gather, but somehow promote the park in conjunction with having that ballot box. I mean, maybe have material about the park. I don't really know. I'm just thinking out loud. Well, we were
Okay, it'll be on the agenda.
Yeah.
It'll be on the agenda. So do we know, did you just say that they're not listening to you, so they're not putting it at Washington Irving Library?
Trying again, because we just got the full grid today of where all the ballot boxes are for Region 10. And they're all south of the freeway. So Mid-City Neighborhood Council is even more upset than we are because there's no ballot box within their boundaries and they're being sent way south. So
Could you share that document with us so I know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have to reopen it and then give me a moment because.
No, I mean, Laura, you can send it to me afterwards, just so
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yes,
just send it to me
absolutely.
afterwards.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was going to say, sure. Yeah,
So
I mean,
something at the park,
it just
like-
was issued 2 hours ago. So I went
Okay.
back in and advocated, please, please, please have it on. Also, just add the Washington Irving Library. There is a bolted down ballot box there. There's no reason we can't use it.
Because the city is difficult, that's why. With all due respect, Lala, I know you work for the city, but
Right.
they are a difficult group of human beings. Laura, great idea. So there's probably a lot of things we can do.
Well, we might have to come, poor Greg, here it comes. We might have to come up with some way of renting, but not renting the parking lot across the street on Jefferson for people to park. But it'd be nice to promote that park if people are going to the ballot box, that's all.
Well, that would, okay, thank you. It'd be lovely to be able to do something at the parks, if nothing else, maybe some literature.
Right.
Anybody, Greg, did you have some suggestions for next month?
From the park staff, if there is any news about parks opening, lifting of COVID restrictions, we would love to hear that. Not encouraging it, just want to be advised if anything happens in that area, any news comes out in that area.
Okay, I can make a note.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lala. I have a request. Lala, I've like ready to bang my head against the wall. I'm trying to figure out who is, because there's 4 parks that are in the United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council footprint. Your park, which is, you know, the biggest park and our granddaddy. But there's also the Leslie Shaw Park, which is a lovely little park over there on Jefferson, right next to the library. And then there's 2 little pocket parks, one under development right now by the Washington Irving Library, and one on Normandy right next to the freeway, right north of the freeway. How do I find out who is in charge of or oversees these parks so I can invite them to this meeting?
Let me ask Sharon. Sharon is my go-to for everything. So let me ask her, and then I can, in the email that I'll email you tomorrow with Patrick's information, hopefully she can give me like some insight of who you can contact.
Beautiful, because I really want to include all the parks in this meeting because that's only fair, and it's probably what I should be doing as the chair of this co-chair of this committee. So thank you, Lala. You're like a breath of fresh air. I'm so happy you're at that park. And Greg has a question.
I have another question related to my previous question. Is there anything that we could share concerning proper use guidelines when people go to the park? Like are the kids allowed to slide down the slides, or any guidelines from the city
They
that we could
haven't
publish?
They haven't sent us anything of the sort like that. It's just mostly all of the CDC guidelines that they send us. I posted them on the board out here, but I can send over what they have sent, like the literature and the pictures and stuff that they had sent us, so you all can have them as well.
Right. Okay.
So COVID safe parking, the park.
Park. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm on a roll now. Remember how we talked about like pop-up parks
Mm-hmm.
some time ago? And then as I was walking, I saw the land on I think Gramercy or Cimarron and 25th, that where they're going to do some construction there. I'm just wondering, is it possible to utilize that as a pop-up park or put some equipment there? Or not that kids play baseball that much around here, but it's a big chunk of land. And we grew up, we would love to have a big chunk of land like that to play in.
I just don't know who we're supposed to ask to do that. Because remember,
Yeah.
originally the pop-up parks was one of Hugo's ideas, but I just don't know who we would speak to.
Yeah, I know we have to talk to the landowner.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess on my part, I guess I need to find out who owns that land and then go from there.
Greg, can I put you down next to this that you will follow up?
Yes, I volunteered myself for something, sure. Yes. I'll find out.
Are you talking about the piece of at 25th and Gramercy?
Yes.
It's been in HBOZ many times. They're getting ready to do construction on it.
Yeah.
3 houses.
Yeah, but Ms. Donna, they've been saying that for the longest, and it's been like a year. So when they say they're getting ready in city mode, it's like in construction mode, that might be 6 months to 3 months to another year.
Yeah. And
yeah,
okay,
so
I got the impression it was going to be sooner because they were getting okays from HBOZ.
Okay.
But I
sweet.
may be wrong.
Okay. All right.
I'm checking right now to see the status.
Everyone, Lizzie's in the room. Everyone say hi, Lizzie.
Hi, Lizzie.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Lizzie.
I want to introduce you to Lala. Lala is the new coordinator at Benny Potter Park. South Seas House, that whole complex there.
Oh, wonderful. So nice meeting you, Lala.
Nice meeting you as well.
Yes.
So Lizzie, I know that you had a question that you wanted to ask the park manager. So go for it.
Yes. So this year we're holding neighborhood council elections, and I'm the chair this year. Laura is the co-chair. We have some outreach materials, including lawn signs. I was hoping to be able to install them on our 3 parks within the UNNC footprint. And I didn't want to just go ahead and install them without asking for proper permission. So if you allow us to do that, or if you can relay the message to the right person who would authorize that would be really helpful, because parents and people in general are using our parks very often, and they would be ideal places to install our lawn signs.
Okay, you
Basically
said,
doing outreach for the elections. Mhm.
okay. If it's literature, I know for a fact we can put it up. If it has to be like installed, that I would have to double check just to make sure and how we would go about it. And if it needs to be installed a certain way.
Okay, they're similar to real estate signs,
Oh, okay.
with the metal things that you
Oh,
stick
okay.
into the ground, into the lawn. So it's not anything too invasive. Just
Oh, okay. No,
it goes into grass.
no, that's fine. That can be, you can go ahead and put that around. That's fine.
Okay,
Yay.
good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Great, great. All right, will do. Mhm.
Okay, any other items for the next meeting? So far, we've got having events at the parks surrounding the election, or having, COVID safe events, and a pop-up park in a location that Greg is looking at. So is there any other ideas for next month's meeting?
Well, I have a question would be, first of all, question would be, should CD10 staff attend one of these?
Yes, they should, but
Right, and-
I have not been, I'm gonna answer your question. I've been a scumbag and just not as together as I should be, and I only invited them on Thursday, and that's not enough time for a city council
Right.
rep to show up to a meeting, so
Right,
sorry.
because one of the big questions is gonna be, are they doing movies in the park this summer? My hunch is they are not, because it's impossible to plan at this point. I should have mentioned that John Arnold, Chris Carlson, and I met with the council office and with the oil drilling operator of the Murphy site, because they have the rear portion is landscaped as a park-like setting on 27th Street at St. Andrews. And we're in discussions, all the three entities are in discussions about the potential of it being opened as a park, not just a park-like space. This is not going to happen instantly. It's been an ongoing thing for 15 or 16 years, but this is a new operator and they seem to be more positive about the possibility. And the reason we were there is through the land use committee, that we have an annual walkthrough on conditions, part of the conditional use permit, but the conversation strayed into parks. So as that goes on, we should have that should be a future meeting here if it becomes something
Cool.
real.
You can give me an update then. Miss Lizzie?
Yes, on that same topic, I joined the board, I think, in 2015, and there was a lot of discussion and litigation with that oil field site, the Murphy site. I live literally 4 blocks away. So when that park or green space,
Park-like.
which is beautiful, it's so beautiful, opened. I remember it being, being built, and Rene Gunter did the landscaping. So we there was an effort from the community to have it open to the public, and they mentioned toxicity as a deterrent. So I don't know what has evolved, but now it's becoming a possibility.
Different operator, new owners.
Okay, but I guess
New owners and a council office that's telling them it would be really good PR to offer something nice to the community. I mean, that's what's evolving.
yeah, because it really got me thinking. It's behind an oil field.
Right. Well, if this were to happen, what would happen is there'll be another interim fence wall so that no one could get up to the 30-foot wall, which has piping and stuff like that. So it kind of pull it back. And it would be a passive park, not one for ball playing. It'd be, because it's on a slope.
Yeah.
And but with a possibility of maybe a concert in the summer, for example, where you bring your picnic blanket. So, but concert, not a movie. I mean, in other words, but this is way premature. I just wanted to not keep secrets and let people know what's going on.
Appreciate it.
Seriously appreciate
Noting
that.
it's private property, it will not be Recreation and Parks, the department won't be involved, but maybe asked as an operator, but maybe asked to consult with them on programs, or maybe some of the people might teach a yoga class at South Seas House, Benny Potter. Maybe they could be referred to also teach a yoga session in this other space. So, I mean, in other words, this is way, way early. It was a lovely conversation, though. Very
Beautiful.
positive.
If there's no other items for next, yoga on a hill, that would be very interesting.
No,
Laura.
there's
You're
a
gonna go
flat part
rolling
and
down. That would be funny. I would really enjoy seeing that. If there's no more ideas for next month's meeting, would anyone mind if we adjourned early tonight?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Although, Lizzie, do you want to stay on? Because something, I'll turn off
To make up for the time.
recording.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I said, Lizzie, if you can stay on, and I will turn off the recording.
Oh, okay.
So you all are gonna chit chat. Okay.
About
Lola,
11.
Lola, it was great meeting you.
It's a pleasure.
Nice meeting you, Lala.
Donna, love that you always come to these meetings. You're just a wealth of information. So
Want to invite everyone to our meeting on Wednesday. It'll be Community Unity meeting. So we'd love to have you come. 3 to 5 other community organizations will be there and share some of their quality of life issues and what they're doing to work.
Great.
Miss Donna, can you put that information in the chat so we could share it, or do you not have that link? Does Laura have that link?
I have the link if you want to hang on, because now I gotta go.
Now, how about you just email it to everyone on this committee, or email it to me and I'll email to
Sure.
everybody?
Yeah, I can do that.
Because I don't want you to have to jump around too much.
No, I know, because I'm looking at it right now, but I have it on a piece of paper that I printed. But, before these meetings, I shut everything down so that I don't clutter up the computer.
And I know that you're still your arm is sore, so I understand you're in pain.
That's
Okay,
right.
since we have no more business, everyone gets half an hour of their life back.
Thank
So
you.
use it wisely.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Talk to everyone later.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.